Happy 4th of July. We are at the PWRBLD open house for 4th of July weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Come in for free, check out all 3 gym locations. So we're gonna get inside and get after it because it is freaking hot out here. Hello and welcome back to the Fox Trains Performance YouTube channel. I am Taylor Fox and we're at PWRBLD Warrington doing some shoulders today, just with the left arm. So I'm gonna start with the Atlanta shoulder press, but did a little bit of like these pull back exercises with the bottoms up kettlebell and then some rotations going up and out. After that, we went on to waiter's walks. I've been wrapping one of the glute bands around the kettlebell for the waiter's walk. That's been pretty good and allowed me to like work on that shoulder stability on the left side and continue to build that core stability while I'm not really doing things with my full body. So I'm pretty happy about that. And then we're just gonna work up on some 8s on the shoulder press, see what we get up to. So let's get after it. So I've been working on this one since before I had surgery. It was an obvious choice to jump on for one arm work. But even before that, when I was training, it was either dumbbells just on one side, unilateral presses, or this, because I don't have great mobility and that's something I'm trying to change once I get recovered. But being able to just use one side at a time, I feel like it was a lot easier on my position and allowed me to like train the shoulder itself that was active a lot better. So I really started to push that, and you know, with 100-pound dumbbells, like doing those for reps on shoulder press, like I could get the dumbbell up a lot easier and just gained like a lot better sets, a lot more quality movement I felt like over time. And I was really feeling strong and obviously like very excited to compete based off of that, but this happened. But it's allowed me to train more effectively after the injury and then post-surgery. So we've got 2 plates on here now. We're gonna throw that up and see how it feels. Yeah, like even that, I did a set with a plate and then I start filming at a plate and a quarter, and that didn't feel that great, but this has been flying now, so I'm really happy to, like I've only gone up to 2 plates, so I'm gonna add a quarter, see how that feels. Like I feel like the strength is really there, so it's great to see on my left side, my non-dominant side, and hopefully that's a good like foreshadowing for when I'm back to using both arms and the strength that I'm able to kind of regain and restabilize that. So like I said, like only gotten up to 2 plates, so 2 1/4 pretty good. I feel really good about that today, so really solid working. We can move on to the next exercise. The Light Fitness lateral raise, which I have to do seated this way because I can't fit in the machine with a sling and hold on to the handle. So I just kind of squeeze in here and then hit with my left side. Obviously the selectorized pieces are gonna be a little bit better for me. It's just easier loading plates. I wasn't really sure about like lifting 45s and stuff pretty high. Well, one thought I did have was like using the watts in hack squat when I'm doing legs. And I can just like lower it so it's really easy to get on the post and then just jack it up to the incline grade that I want. Didn't seem to really be a problem. You're gonna see some clips later where I train on the Atlantis hack squat and really wasn't an issue, so I'm pretty pumped. The one thing I have avoided so far is pressure on the shoulder, but otherwise pretty unrestricted as far as training if it's just the left arm. Nothing's really caused me too much discomfort on the right side, but I just try to keep it as relaxed as possible and really only doing like very light, gentle movements with it at the moment. Let's get on to this next set. The Arsenal lateral raise, which you can also use as a front raise, and that's what I'm gonna do. So again, selectorized, and I just feel like this feels really good for get some front raises and extra volume in the front delts. Yeah, I don't know, like, I feel like we've gotten so much into like, you know, you have to do the laterals and the rear delts, and you don't need to do as much front delt work because like we're bench pressing, we're doing shoulder press that gets the anterior delts involved. But now I feel like we've like transitioned to the state in the industry and fitness physical culture where we neglect the front delts. And like some stuff I recommend to different people based on what others have said, like with the sandbag throw, like Bromley recommends the front delt to just get, you know, the power and strength from that movement and, you know, the anterior motion of doing that. And there's certainly other benefits. I think just training hard and training a lot and building these different muscles is going to be a benefit. So I'm going to hit everything that I can on this left side and keep you know, retaining as much muscle mass as I can. All right, last one. It is plate loaded, but thankfully it was already loaded for me. I will unload it at the end. Make sure you unload your stuff, put your weights back. But the New Tech M Torture pec deck and rear delt combo, this thing is money. Again, used it a little bit after I got injured. I really like the motion with the settings I use for rear delt, so definitely gonna add this back in and use this for a while I'm immobilized. Hit the rear delts really hard on this left side. So that wrapped up the training session. Honestly, I could not figure out exactly how I had it before. It was kind of one of the unlock settings because the handles would tilt, but I had to kind of focus on contracting the rear delt efficiently, and I could prevent it from tilting, and I couldn't repeat that today, so I kind of just locked it in. And then had the longer handle hitting my back was kind of the end of the range of motion. I still feel like that was a good set. I just ended up pumping out one set of 20 because one of the competitors from Powerlifting Strongest Man was doing yoke, and I really wanted to get some B-roll of him doing yoke for a rules video. So I was pretty pumped about that because it made it easy. Considering I can't do yoke right now, and I can't really do anything that's going to be like looking good and functional for a video, so I definitely want to get some of the athletes on camera to be able to pump out some more content for this competition. So I was happy to get that done. Yesterday, I was at Powerlifting KOP, first leg day post-op, pretty pumped about that. And, you know, I'm like, belt squat, maybe I can do something else. And then I was like, oh my God, like the kind of the linear hack squat setting on the Lannis, that's like what I need to be doing. So I jumped on that right away. I did some really like long range of motion, like holds with no weight on the carriage to start. And that was feeling pretty good just to like open up the range of motion because I hadn't been doing it in a while. And then I started to work up the weight, and I'm just adjusting the sling because I'm all squished in here, and that didn't really feel good. For anyone concerned about me driving, yeah, maybe it's not safe, but I do have a good setup, like loosen the sling so the arm's a little more free. So I have both arms, and then I support it on the center console. So I think that's been good, and I've been able to independently get around. But yeah, I worked up in hack squat. I was feeling pretty good. You know, started with some sets of 20, then 15, and then 10, I believe with 3 plates. And really just trying not to push it too hard, like, especially with the range, like I kind of got to the point where it's like my arm hits my thigh, and that was just the range of motion I needed to use for these sets. Like I couldn't go all the way down like super, super deep. I may have wanted to go a little bit deeper than I was going, but it just wasn't feasible with my arm in a sling, and I didn't want to take it out of the sling. I also noted, like driving a car with the stick on the left side or the right side, I had some difficulties re-racking it because it's the same thing on the hack squat. Obviously, most people are right-handed, so that's why. So that was annoying. I didn't really expect that. And there were some times I stood up too quickly and hadn't really fully unlocked yet, and it kind of clunked, and it was like, okay, that was weird and not reassuring with how, you know, I'm set up right now, and I don't want to like have an accident. And then locking it back in, I wasn't necessarily on the right pin or slot to get it to lock back in correctly. So figuring that out a little bit was interesting. It would be nice to maybe grab somebody to train with next time and not have to deal with all that, because it's definitely a lot easier. Somebody can just pull the thing and lock it back in efficiently that way. But we moved on from hack squat, and I was, you know, definitely like belt squat seems like a good move with my current situation. So I wanted to do some squats into marches. I wasn't really too concerned about the range of motion with the belt squat itself because of what I kind of just stated, and just wanted to get some more like pumping reps from like a half squat type of movement. So I did that, and then I went into the marches. So I think it was like 20, 15, 10 squats, and then 30 marches after each set of squats. So I enjoyed that. One dude came up to me and was like, yo, like you being in here is, you know, mad respect for that. It's crazy. I appreciated that. Very happy to, you know, be acknowledged for being committed to getting back to training. And, you know, that's the thing too, like when I was trying to compete, my thing was pushing it to my clients to be like, hey, you can do this because look, I'm doing it. Like I'm coaching and I'm working and I'm doing all these things and trying to like move ahead with different things and do stuff for my family and whatever. But then I'm still finding the time to like push myself and compete. Now I'm hurt, but I need to make sure I maintain these things. These are positive habits, the training, the nutrition, lifestyle habits beyond that, good sleep. Honestly, a lot of stuff has fallen apart pretty bad, but like the way you can get that back together is training. When you're training consistently, then you start eating better. You're tired, you're sore, so you want to recover, so you start going to sleep more consistent times, sleeping consistently, and you just start kind of like locking and caring about things a little bit more. So I think that was a good push to get back in the gym. And I love training legs. I haven't lost that much muscle mass or vascularity in my legs, and I want to make sure I keep it that way. So got back in there. Hopped on the leg extension. Like I mentioned in this video, a lot of stuff going to be selectorized. Just want to do some single leg extensions, 15 reps each set with 5-second iso holds every 5 reps. Felt pretty good to do that. And then, you know, my options are going to be standing hamstring curl or seated hamstring curl. I prefer standing. Somebody was on it and I was like, okay, whatever. Let's jump on the seated hamstring curl. And of course, the knob on it was gone. So it's just like you have to pull the pin itself to adjust the thigh pad, trying to get everything adjusted. You never think like these things are going to come up when you're healthy, and then it's like you get onto a machine with only one arm and you're like, oh crap, like this is difficult. So basically in the end, I got stuck in the machine. I mean, I could have gotten out, if we're being serious, but like I was a little stuck, and I just kind of was like, I'm gonna sit here. I just did the 90 seconds in between sets sitting in the machine like stuck. I was like, there's no use in like putting the effort in to get out and only to then, you know, struggle to get back into it and set it up for the next set. And I just did 2 sets and stayed stuck in it for that 90 seconds. Finished off the hamstrings, feeling pretty good after that. Wasn't much else to do, although it would have been nice then to train like upper body a little bit. Like, I know they just got the Nautilus pullover down there at KOP, and they got some chest pieces and some other stuff that we just don't have up here. But I had to go out for lunch and stuff like that, so ran out of there. Good session, very happy with the session today. Wish that I could hit all 3 locations for this weekend with the holiday and the open house. I haven't really been able to get to the Philly location recently, and I don't think I'm going to be down there anytime soon, but we'll see what happens. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, keep lifting those heavy weights. Hold strong.